Hey guys, it's Stephanie, and I had a pretty decent reading month in April, so I decided a wrap-up was in order. First, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Tales of Beetle the Bard, Half-Blood Prince, and Deathly Hallows. And I'm making Harry discussion videos, so I won't go into any great detail about them here, but I just want to mention Beetle and Fantastic Beasts because I cannot get over the amount of detail that went into this amazing series. A Hogwarts textbook and wizarding children's fairy tales, like, it's amazing. These books are so cool. I'm so glad I finally embraced the wizarding world and all of its glory. I love it. I've fallen completely in love. Look at this shelf down here. In January 2016, I had 0 Harry. Now, all Harry. When I finished Deathly Hallows, I just kind of sat here wondering what I was supposed to do with the rest of my life, and I decided to jump into some serious historical fiction. And I picked up Salt to the Sea by Ruta, I still can't say her last name, Ruta Sepetys. And the reason I picked Salt to the Sea up, it lifts the veil on a shockingly little-known casualty of World War II. I threw it in my cart so fast. This is everything I look for. I'm a gigantic history nerd, and 2 things that grab my attention more than any others are World War II and marine disasters. I don't really understand my morbid interest in World War II or marine disasters, but especially marine disasters, because I am terrified of the ocean. Like, it's my greatest fear. So I won't swim in it, but I love to learn about it. I read Between Shades of Grey a few years ago, and I didn't love it, but I appreciate it so much for bringing to light a very little-known horror of World War II. I just felt strangely detached from the characters. Like, I felt for what they were going through, I was horrified by it, but I didn't really care about the characters themselves, and I kind of felt that here with Salt to the Sea as well. I think it's a fantastic, well-researched, fast-paced novel, but I still had difficulty caring for anyone, and I don't understand this, but I do deeply appreciate this book because why and how is it that the Wilhelm Gustloff sinking goes unremembered? Over 9,000 people died on this ship. 9,000! To give you a frame of reference, 1,500 people died on Titanic. 9,000 people died here. This is the biggest marine disaster in history, and I never heard of it? There are so many forgotten war stories. One of the reasons I loved Bronze Horseman so much is because it taught me all about Leningrad. I had never ever heard of the Siege of Leningrad before I read this book. An estimated million people died in Leningrad. I was ashamed that I never knew about this. Salt to the Sea really didn't disappoint in certain respects because it taught me a lot. It made me aware of something I am embarrassed that I never knew about before, and it's written really well. I just had trouble connecting to the characters, which I don't understand my issue connecting with Ruta's characters. It's the second time that's happened now. But I appreciate the writing she's doing, and this really is a great book. I would completely recommend it. Well written, fast-paced, you should check it out. And then I was still in the World War II mood after finishing Salt to the Sea, so I picked up Codename Verity by Elizabeth Vine, which has been on my shelf for 2 years now, and I don't know why I keep passing it over, but I'm glad I finally picked it up. It was very slow for me though. The writing is super technical about airplanes. A lot. And it really wasn't holding my interest at all for about the first 100 pages. But then the story started to pick up for me. It did have some twists and unexpected things that kept me reading. My favorite thing about this book is the way it's told, which is sort of in a diary type of format from 2 different characters. And it also provides us with an unreliable narrator, which is my favorite thing. They turn everything on its head, they pull the rug out from under you, and that's what this book did. So even though it really wasn't quite for me and really didn't pull me in the way I was hoping it would, I bumped it up from a 3-star to a 4-star read because of that unreliable narrator. That always earns my respect when you can pull that off. We also have a Scottish Jamie here, helped hold my interest. Can't go wrong with a Scottish Jamie. But yeah, even though I appreciate this story and the way it's written, I struggled to connect, similar to Salt to the Sea. It's all about espionage and female pilots in World War II. It's exciting. So I don't know why I struggled so much to get into it. Maybe it's just my own state of mind right now. I can't connect to anyone because I'm still stuck in Hogwarts. And throughout the month, I read the glorious Hamilton the Revolution, which is a behind-the-scenes look at the Broadway hit, which just got 16 Tony nominations this morning. That is a broken record. This is possibly the most beautiful book I own. Got a gold detailed spine, decal edges, gorgeous pictures, heavy matte pages, and it's all formatted to look like documents from Alexander's time. Just gotta love that detail. This book is stunning and it's so well written, so interesting. It made me laugh, it made me cry a lot. My eyes kept filling up on like every other page just reading this amazing story. And there's so much information in here about everything that goes into getting an idea onto Broadway. And that's fascinating to me. And the book is laid out really well too. It flows so nicely. Like we have a chapter about Pippa before That Would Be Enough and a chapter about Leslie before Wait For It. So I like how they put it together. But really, Lin has become this gigantic inspiration in my life, and reading this book was like getting an inside look into his creative process, and I just couldn't get enough. Lin also makes some Harry Potter references in here, which I fully appreciated since I just finished Harry. He likens at one point Alexander meeting Aaron to Harry meeting Draco, and that was so perfect. We also get the lyrics to a third cabinet battle that was cut from the show, and this one was all about slavery, and I really wish this didn't have to go because this is such a great battle. It's just so refreshing for me to know that a founding father was so fiercely opposed to slavery. I've grown up thinking my whole life that everybody from this time was just an ass. I mean, I always had some respect for George Washington, but that was it. And Alexander was just such an exceptional person. I can't get over it. And I'll say the same goes for Lin. Unbelievable, so inspiring. And that is it for my April reading, which is not bad because I read 2 books in March. I feel like that always happens. I'll have a pretty good, solid reading month with like 6 or 7 books, and then I'll read practically nothing the following month. But I'm pretty happy with my pace so far this year. I'm still feeling a little at a loss for what to read now that I'm done with Harry, but A Court of Mist and Fury just came out, which I am going to go buy as soon as I finish filming. I'm also buddy reading with my twin Julia over at Julia Talks Too Much. We've decided that we are Hallie and Annie, separated at birth, and also by a few years and a few countries, but whatever. And we're reading Nowhere But Here by Katie McGarry. Going by my unofficial schedule, May is going to be another 2-book month, so I think ACOMAF and Nowhere But Here are going to be it for my May TBR. What were some of your favorite books of the month? I would love to hear what you guys are reading, and maybe send me some post-Harry Potter recommendations. I would greatly appreciate it because I'm feeling kind of lost. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!